On an overcast Friday, May 29th. Welcome. I'm Paul Huckalak.
And I'm Lisa Rufiange, and this is TV7.ca News. Hello, Paul. Good to see you. Well,
It's
figuratively speaking.
it's also nice to see you, figuratively speaking. How was your week?
It was good. Look what I picked up. My very first mask.
Hey, how's it feel?
Great. I got it from Carrie's Costumes. I actually was able to take my own material down there, and they're making me my own. So great. Shop local.
Very cool. Today, the RCMP are investigating an assault on a young woman. Michelle Parker has a fun way to keep us in shape with Let's Get Fit. And don't forget about all the kids out and about in our neighborhoods during your commute. All that and, of course, more. But first.
On Wednesday at approximately 1 a.m., St. Albert RCMP responded to an apartment complex fire on Grange Drive. When the RCMP arrived, they learned that there were several people inside the building structure and proceeded to enter in the face of extremely dangerous conditions.
Authorities did, in fact, go door to door in the smoke-filled hallways of all 4 floors, notifying residents to evacuate, and assisted 2 individuals who were unable to get out on their own, as their units were engulfed in flames.
St. Albert Watch Commander Corporal Renee Murphy stated she was very proud of the RCMP members' selfless efforts to evacuate residents and thankful to the partners of St. Albert RCMP Fire Services, neighboring fire rescue services, and EMS, who responded quickly and worked tirelessly to save residents and property.
RCMP members were assessed on scene by paramedics, and 1 member was taken to an ambulance for further observation related to smoke inhalation and then released. St. Albert RCMP General Investigations Section, or the GIS, continued to work with the St. Albert fire investigators to determine the cause of the fire.
St. Albert RCMP are looking for a man who reportedly assaulted a young woman last Tuesday. On May 26th, sometime in the morning, a female in her 20s was walking in a wilderness area by Service Place, believed to be River Lot 56. However, the female could have been in many wooded areas along Red Willow Park.
Initial information provided to police stated a male wearing a white hoodie and possibly a mask tried to choke the female. The RCMP believe this is an isolated incident and continue to liaise with the family of the victim, but are seeking the public's assistance in any information they could provide to help identify the individual involved.
Now, if you have information regarding this or any other crime, as always, you're asked to contact the St. Albert RCMP Detachment at 780-458-7700.
Taxes are due June 1st. Sad little reminder, but a reminder nonetheless. Here's Crystal Lucier with more information about that.
I want money.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I hope that you're all well. I'm sure that many of you have heard that the new tax deadline is June 1st of 2020, which is causing a little bit of concern for business owners. There is still a June 15th tax preparation date for proprietorships for business owners that aren't incorporated, so that hasn't changed. The filing tax deadline of June 1st is looming. You want to make sure that you do file. Although if you owe any money to CRA for your individual income tax return, the balance is not due until September 1st of 2020. So as long as your taxes are paid by September 1st, you won't incur any penalties or additional interest on that amount due. You want to make sure that you file as soon as possible because filing on time accurately calculates your benefits for GST and your Canada Child benefit, your CCB benefit that you get every month. It's important that you get that 2019 income tax filed so that those amounts are correct. Now, the government recently announced that eligible Canadians that get GST and that receive child tax benefit will continue to receive these payments until September of 2020, even if your income tax is not assessed or processed on time. They want to make sure that everybody is receiving their benefits. So you will receive GST and CCB for the months of July, August, and September. However, they're saying don't delay in filing your 2019 income tax return, because if they don't receive it and have it processed by September, you may have to pay back the benefits for July, August, and September that you received. If you receive those pre-assessed balances for child tax and GST for July, August, and September, they'll be based on your 2018 return. So your monthly amounts won't change if they haven't processed your return on time. It's buying CRA a little bit of time to make sure that everything is processed. If the amount changes from 2018 to 2019, and your new assessed amount for child tax and for GST is different, they'll adjust it in September, and then you'll either get an additional check or owe the difference in balance from your pre-assessed amounts from 18 to 19. If they're unable to assess your return by September 2020, your estimated benefits and credits will stop. So you won't receive anything in October. So it is important to make sure that you get those income tax returns in. The date is closing in. But again, remember, if you are a proprietor and you own a business, the July 15th date is the actual filing date for you as per normal. Make sure that you get those returns in as soon as possible. CRA is asking that the extension on the Canada Child Benefit and the GST is not used as an excuse for non-filing. Remember that those benefits will go away if we don't get your income taxes in and CRA doesn't process them on time. I'm Crystal Lucier with Preferred Tax Solutions, and this is TV7.ca.
I want money.
Authorities are seeking your assistance in locating a missing 15-year-old youth female whose last known address was in St. Albert. Maria Bigstone was reported missing from a St. Albert residence on May 27th. She's described as being an Indigenous female who is 5 foot 3 inches tall and 119 pounds. She has black shoulder-length hair and brown eyes.
Now, if you have any information regarding her whereabouts, please let the RCMP know at 780-458-7700. Well, Michelle Parker has a fun exercise today that'll help us get in fit and stay young at heart.
Welcome everyone to Let's Get Fit. It's been a while since we've taken a focus on nutrition. So today I thought I would take some time to connect with you on a few healthy eating tips. As some of you may already know, I'm a CanFit Pro healthy eating and weight loss coach pro trainer. That is, I coach others on becoming healthy eating and weight loss coaches for personal interest or as an added skill set when they're working with their clients. A key underlying principle of this program is about making healthier choices more often. It's not about making massive changes overnight. Rather, it's about making incremental changes over time. That can sometimes be hard concept for anybody to accept. Okay? But if your goal is to trim down and maybe lose some fat, slow and steady is what's going to help you win the race. This is a marathon, it's not a sprint. The weight did not come on overnight. It will not come off overnight. So some examples of some quick, easy tips, or maybe not easy, but things you want to consider as some new strategies for you, is think about incorporating protein into your breakfast. This would be something like eggs, for example. When we incorporate eggs into our breakfast, it can help to stave off those afternoon cravings. So if you find yourself grabbing for a bunch of carbs in the middle of the afternoon, think about that protein that you had early in the day or didn't have, as the case may be. Continuous hydration is another tip that I want you to think about. And did you know that your body cannot decipher between, hey, I'm hungry and hey, I'm thirsty? And so because you cannot decipher those two signals, if you continuously sip water throughout your day, then you'll be less likely to overeat later in the day when we're misinterpreting those signals. And another final tip I want to give you for nutrition today is just adding color. Color is such a great thing. So add some color to your plate. Don't have it all one color, have it multiple different colors. Different food sources or different nutrients come within different food sources. And we can sometimes distinguish that simply by the color on our plate. So if you give 2 or 3 different colors on your plate, you know you've got a good variety of different nutrients in there. So add some color to your life. Today, for our move of the week, we're going to jump up off the floor. I've got my jump rope in my hand. I'm going to show you a jump rope. but then I'm also going to show you the exact same move without the jump rope. So if you get a jump rope at home, I encourage you to pick up that jump rope, start jumping some more, have a little bit of fun with it. If you did it as a kid, bring it back out, dust it off. It's very portable, great tool to have. And I'm also then going to show you the moves without the jump rope. So if you don't have one, you can still play along. All right, here we go. So with our jump rope, we want to remember this nice and soft jump off the balls of your feet. You're only going to go to centimeter off the ground. It's nice and small. Handles are in your palms with your forefinger along the handle itself. And it's just a nice light jump. I'm going for a double, oops, I'm going for a double hop there. And if you fumble, just start again. And you can pick up the pace. And of course, you can be adding other steps in there as well too. Now, if you don't have a jump rope at home and you want to get that cardio in there, that jump rope that I just did, you can do that without a jump rope. Just keep your forearms tucked close to your body. Your upper arms stuck close to your body, forearms making nice little circles, and that little hop about a centimeter off the ground. Great plyometrics, good for bone density, so many other things. There's more calories in it there running or being on your bike. So if you haven't done it recently, pick up that jump rope and let's jump. Everyone, from F Extreme Fitness, I am Michelle, coming to you from tv7.ca. Have a beautiful day. Until the next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and have fun.
And on Wednesday, at approximately 11:50 a.m., the RCMP responded to a motor vehicle collision involving a pedestrian on Grandora Crescent. When members arrived on scene, they learned a 6-year-old girl was riding her scooter and stopped at the end of a driveway. The little girl proceeded to lay down behind a parked vehicle, possibly looking for something on the ground. The driver of the parked vehicle was getting ready to leave and proceeded to back out of the driveway, not seeing the girl.
Now, after the collision, the driver of the vehicle stopped immediately and rendered assistance to the conscious child. The girl was transported via ambulance to the Stollery Children's Hospital, where she was seen by physicians and later released with no substantial injuries.
And thankfully, the child was not injured at all severely. Now, please remember that the weather is nice and the schools are closed, so our neighborhoods are going to be filled with children playing, and they may not be paying attention to their surroundings. Now, please drive safe and with extra caution. And here's mindset and emotion coach and master hypnotist Karen Armstrong talking about, well, our emotions.
Hi, today I would like to talk a little bit about emotions. Emotions can be positive and they can be negative, and depending which one you're experiencing, it will impact what you're experiencing in life. It'll impact how your day goes. And so I think it's really important to talk about what they are and why we have them and what to do about it. So what I'm going to probably focus on is more so the negative emotions, because that's what people want to get out of their life. That's what they want to get rid of. And I don't blame you. I'm the same way. Emotions are just a call to action. They are good for us, even the bad ones. Just like medicine, they taste bad, but they're good for us. So when it comes to a negative emotion, it's your mind trying to protect you. It's trying to get you to take action so that you can feel better again. Anger is a good example. It means something's unfair. Sadness is that you lost something valuable. Loneliness is that you lack quality connection. Inadequacy, not good enough. Stress, too much on my plate. And fear, something bad may happen. So all those emotions, when you're feeling them, are gross and you want to get away from them. So I'm going to tell you what it is that you can do in order to do that. The first thing is you need to become aware of exactly which emotion you are feeling. Because as I went over a few of those, what that emotion is trying to tell you, you need to know the definition of it so that you can apply it to your life, so that you can process it to see if it's true. That's the first step, a reality check. Sometimes we're angry or sometimes we don't feel good enough, but it's not actually logical. It's not true. So once you determine whether or not it is true, the next step is whether you can control it. So you can be angry at a particular situation, but if you have no control over it, the only thing you can do to overcome that emotion is to learn to accept it. So anger means something's unfair. If that's the case, if someone did something to you that's unfair and it's in the past, and you can't change it, the only thing that will help you get rid of that impact on your life today is to learn how to forgive that person. And maybe you need to forgive yourself. Maybe there's some guilt involved there too. So when it comes to emotions, the first step is being aware of exactly which emotion or emotions you're feeling, being aware of what those emotions are trying to tell you, doing your reality check. Is it true? If it is true, can I control it? So if you can control it, that's the final step. It's time to take action. So taking a step back out of your life, taking off your blinders, and brainstorming everything and anything you can do in order to satisfy that emotion. And then pick the first step and do it. Your life won't change unless you make changes, and you can't change what you're not aware of. So if you're feeling some negative emotions today that you want to get rid of, take a step back, follow those procedures, and see how well that works for you. The alternative is when we don't process these emotions, what happens is it's energy. Emotions are energy. It gets stored in your nervous system. And then next time you feel that same emotion, it will reactivate whatever you have stored inside of you. So if you're experiencing explosions of emotions, like something small happens and you're really angry, or a bill comes in and it's more expensive than you thought it would be, and all of a sudden you're having anxiety attacks, chances are you repressed a lot of those emotions in the past, and they just need to be processed. For TV7.ca News, I'm Karen Armstrong.
And that will do it for this week. If you have any community events or news you'd like to share with our viewers, please send us an email at news@tv7.ca. From all of us here at the station, I'm Lisa. He's Paul. Please be safe, stay kind, and have a great week.